Well, hello everyone. My name is John Cottrell. This is Soft Flow. This is a 60-minute gentle yoga practice. So welcome. So if you're new to yoga or haven't been doing yoga for some time or just been a lot of space between your last yoga practice, no worries. This is a practice that takes us through some poses very slowly. I like to modify and give variations of postures, and we use props as a way to support our practice. So welcome. For our practice today, in just like my other soft flow practices, you may want to have a soft blanket, something to kneel on or sit on. Always nice for our knees and our wrists when we come to our hands and knees for some of our poses, or just sitting. And then a couple of yoga blocks. This is good. Actually, this is going to come in handy. A couple blocks or books, something that's stackable, because we're going to be doing a little balancing today. I'll say a little bit more about that in a second. But blocks would be a very nice prop to use, a couple blocks or books. And then maybe a big cushion or pillow. This is optional. This is a yoga bolster, maybe for your Shavasana practice. That's when we relax at the end of our class. Just something to, again, just to support your body. And that's really the idea of this soft flow class. Again, I like to move slowly. We take our time. We don't push ourselves too quickly. And we don't do a whole lot of postures. And we use our props as a way to support our bodies. My intention really is for you to have a success in the practice and really walk away with a good benefit from this yoga practice. So we're going to be focusing on a couple of balancing poses. And so one pose is called tree pose. It's just standing on one foot, and then kind of a variation of that balance, and it's called eagle pose. And both of those, I'll give some variations and how we can use our props for practicing those balancing postures. Okay, we're going to begin in seated. So I invite you to take a comfortable seat on your mat or a blanket or pillow. You can even sit in a chair if you'd like to instead for this first portion of the practice. We just take time to get into our breath, prepare for our movement. And I like to cross my legs, and you're certainly welcome to cross your legs. But if that's not comfortable for you at the moment, you can always extend one leg or extend both legs, even sit up against a wall if you'd like to. Again, want you to be comfortable. So once you've made your way to your comfortable seat, you might take a couple of deep breaths. You might breathe in deeply through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or through your mouth. If you exhale through your mouth, you might release the breath with a nice soft sigh. You might even feel your shoulders relax. Even give your shoulders a little roll here. You just slowly circle your shoulders back and then forward, even up and down. Maybe just shrug your shoulders, bringing your shoulders a little closer toward your earlobes, and then pressing down, up and down. Just a little movement there. And then just sit in stillness. I'm going to continue focusing on your breath. So just slow, steady breaths in and out. This gives us the opportunity to move inside of ourselves, to let go of the things that are going on outside of us so we can pay attention to what's going on inside of us. Breathing slowly and deeply allows us to turn inward. To help with that, you might just turn up the volume of your breath. Just breathe in a way where you can hear that oceanic sound. Even feel your body respond to your breath. And that might mean breathing in so you feel yourself sitting up a little taller. You might even feel the expansion of your lungs. And when you exhale, that continued relaxation through your shoulders. Slow breaths in and out. Good. Let's add one more sensation. So continue with the breathing in when you feel the breath rising, filling up your lungs. And then when you exhale, if you're able, draw your navel inward toward your spine It's a light contraction of your abdominal muscles just to feel some engagement. It will help with some of the balancing postures that we'll be doing in our practice today. So again, breathe in, feel tall in your seat, heart opening, lungs expanding. Exhaling, navel towards spine, light contraction of your abdominal muscles, that engagement to help you with stability, support, and balance. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out. We're going to add a very simple movement to our breathing practice here. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms out across the room and all the way up into the air. Reach for the sky. And as you exhale, extend your arms out as if you're going to touch the walls on either side of you, bringing your arms back down by your side. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep your arms out and eventually upward towards the ceiling. And then your exhale, extend, really reach, arms coming back down. Now just continue to breathe and move at your own pace. You don't have to necessarily follow me. When you inhale, just feel the arms extend outward, reaching. It's a stretch quality. Float all the way up to complete that in-breath. And then as you exhale, we're still drawing the navel inward towards spine for that support as your arms just float back down by your side. Let your arms follow the pace of your breath. You want to feel as if the breath is moving you. The breath is moving you. Just like when you fill up a balloon with air. The balloon expands as the air inflates it. As you're moving in slow motion, just notice the energy in your arms, your shoulders, your hands. You might even feel a lengthening through the sides of your body. Still very aware of the sound and feeling of your breath. Go ahead and complete the breath that you're on right now, and then take 2 more breaths. And when you're complete, just bring your arms down, let them relax down by your side. Your hands can rest in your lap if you'd like. And just notice that change from that energetic movement of the body to now a relaxed, stationary body. Notice your breath. Still seated, we're going to bring our hands behind us here. You can just prop yourself up onto your fingertips or onto your palms, your flat hands. Either one's correct. Just bring the arms back and also feel your shoulders gently pull back. So there's really a nice opening up through the upper chest. We're going to tip the chin up just a little bit here. We'll inhale, press into the ground with the hands or fingertips. Feel your breath rise to fill up your lungs. And then exhale. With that same exhale, you're still drawing navel inward towards spine. Now we're in a mild seated back bend. We're just going to bring a little bit more energy to the body. So when you inhale, press into the ground with the hands. Feel the breath rise. Open up through the chest. Feel that expansion, that stretch quality across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. When you exhale, you're drawing navel to spine. And as you're able, squeeze shoulder blades together behind you. Notice all this engagement in the body. Hands or fingertips pressing into the ground, strong straight arms, shoulders back and squeezing shoulder blades together. Breathing deeply, filling up your lungs and then your core engaging. Take 2 more breaths. Even though for the most part, a simple posture, but lots of energy in the body. And then when you're complete, just lower your chin to look forward, walk your hands towards yourself to sit up tall. And again, you can just let your hands rest in your lap. Take a breath or 2 here. Again, just feeling that relaxation come back to the body after that engaged sensation. If your legs are crossed, we're going to uncross the legs, just changing the leg posture a little bit. Bring the soles of your feet together so they touch. You know, take your blocks or books or even some small pillows if you'd like, just to bring them underneath your legs like this for a little support, just so they can just literally rest and relax right here so they don't feel like they're just hanging out there on their own. And then you can just hold on to your feet or your ankles or even your shins. And wherever you hold on to, just sit up as tall as can be. And once you are here, we'll inhale, get even taller, lengthening through your spine. Exhale, draw belly in, and then hinge forward just a little bit, leading with your heart and your chin. And if you can see me, you'll notice that I didn't go very far at all. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Inhale to feel tall in your seat, lengthening through spine. Exhale, pull belly in, and then hinge forward a little bit. So that's what I mean by taking our time, moving slowly. So we can really go deeply into this posture if we choose to do so, because we're taking our time. It's less stress on the body. But what I'd like to do in our soft flow practice is not necessarily going too deep into a pose, just to a place where you have sensation and it feels good, where you could hold this for a longer period of time. So as we're hinging forward, we're getting sensation in the inner thighs, a little stretch quality there. That's an area of the body that can get a little tight. My back is still relatively flat, but you can certainly round your spine. You might just lower your chin, let the back round a little bit, and that might even allow you to go a little deeper. But don't feel like you have to go too far in this pose. Again, just to the place where you have some mild sensation. You can still breathe in and out deeply, and you can feel that stretch in your inner thighs and maybe your back. Let's take 3 more breaths in what we call cobbler's pose. That's a nickname. The more formal English name is bound angle pose. When we're ready to move, first just lift your chin so you can see out in front of you, starting to re-extend the spine. You can place your hands on your mat and press into the mat to help lift yourself back up until you're nice and tall in your seat like this. Hold for a moment. We'll get ready for our next pose. If you were using some props for your knees, let's just set those to the side. We're just going to swing the legs back behind us so we can come to our hands and knees for our next pose. Here, you may want to use your folded blanket for some cushioning for your hands and knees, or even just fold your mat underneath you if you'd like. So we'll start in this tabletop position. And it's cow pose and cat pose. Starting with cow, we're going to inhale and just look up or forward. It's like this, and you'll arch your back a little bit. You'll feel your pelvis tip back, your belly drops. As you exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Let your back round. It almost feels like it's lifting up towards the ceiling. Navel pulls in towards spine. Reverse it when you inhale. Tip the pelvis back. Your belly will drop. Heart opens. Look forward. Exhale, tuck tailbone underneath. Belly button pulls up towards spine, round your back, chin to chest. That's cat pose. And just continue this undulation of the spine, flowing through these two postures. Take your time with this. Again, you don't have to force either pose. You can take these very easily, slowly if you want, or maybe add a little bit more pace to it if you want, just depending on the pace of your own breathing. It's a nice way to release some tension in your back. It gets the pelvis mobile. Finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more breaths. When you've completed those 2 last breaths, just return to a tabletop position where you'll hold in stillness for a breath or 2. And then our transition. So if you were using a blanket, let's crawl off the blanket so we can move it off to the side. Come back to hands and knees. We'll get set up for downward facing dog. So you're going to step your hands forward so your wrists are no longer underneath your shoulders like this. And when you step the hands forward, spread out your fingers pretty wide so you feel that stretch between each finger. Kind of lean into your hands or press your palms into the ground so your palms go flat. It's a nice way to actually stretch your hands. Feel the energy and strength in your arms. Even look at your arms. There's even a sensation of squeezing your arms in towards each other as if you're holding on to something between your arms. Hold that stationary position. You're going to tuck your toes and do another cat and cow flow. So you're going to inhale, look forward, arching the back into that little back bend. Exhale, round it all out into cat pose and hold cat. Hold it. And then from here, lifting knees off the ground, hips up into the air until you're in this triangle position we know as downward facing dog. Take a moment to adjust your feet. You can step them forward a little bit, even a little wider. Adjust your hands. Hold, keep a slight bend in the knees here and feel your hips just lift a little higher towards the ceiling as the hands press firmly into the ground. Now we're going to start taking a little step forward until your feet are flat on the mat underneath you. You might end up like in the center of your mat, which is perfect. And then slide your hands up to your shins, knees, or even your thighs to extend your spine so we're just halfway up like this. And then exhale, fold a little bit down. Let's do that again. Just inhale, slide your hands up to your knees, perhaps, just to extend your spine so you're parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold. Just a very simple up and down motion. Same thing. One more time. Inhale, slide hands to shins or knees, extending spine. Feel the crown of your head lead you forward. Exhale, fold. Let's hold this for a little bit longer. You might even shift your weight slightly towards your toes, just a little bit. You might even need to grip your mat with your toes. Just feel the energy and strength in your feet, your toes. This will also engage the backs of your legs to help stabilize your body. All right, now feel the weight of your body shift back towards your heels. Less tension in the toes. Once you're on your heels, bend your knees, let your hips drop down like you're sitting in a chair. Look out in front of you. Take your arms out to the side. Drive your heels strongly into the ground to stand up tall, straight legs, and then reach up into the air. This is extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side. And now we're in a nice standing position we know as mountain pose. Go ahead and roll your shoulders again. Roll them backward, some circles. Roll them forward. A little movement of your head and neck. So maybe ear to shoulder, back to neutral, ear to shoulder. Maybe one more time each side. And then you can even do a nod. Look down towards your toes and then forward. Down towards your toes and forward. Just help release any tension that we tend to hold in our neck and shoulders. All right, let's go through that half salute to the sun. We fold forward and come right back up, taking our time. When you're ready, inhale to sweep the arms out and up into the air. Good energy as you reach for the ceiling. Exhale, spread your wings or let them come down. Bend your knees and sit back into a chair or an imaginary chair behind you. Let your arms come down. Look down at your toes. Let the back naturally round right here. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs, extending your spine, creating that long, flat table. Exhale, fold. Just a brief hold here. Feel the weight of your body shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Take that low seat. Look forward. Sweep arms out to the side. Drive heels into the ground. Inhale. Stand up tall. Reach even higher if you're able. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Very nice. Hold right here. You can even shake this out a little bit. That's a lot of energy in the body that we've created. So you can just kind of shake some of that out, loosen things up, check in with yourself, even get a little sip of water if you'd like to. I'm just going to adjust my mat. And as we return to mountain pose, we're going to do our modification of stepping into warrior one. It's a modified position. So mountain pose, shoulders rolled back, nice long neck, keep your gaze forward. Let's start by placing a little bend in the knees and keep them slightly bent. And then start shifting your weight into your right foot. You can feel that pressure shift. Keep that energy there. And then with the left foot, just start tapping the left foot back behind you. It doesn't have to go far. Just feel that natural stop, and you'll end up on your big toe. You're just balancing back there on the big toe. And then just set the heel down onto the mat, which will automatically create an actual turning outward of the foot, like that. And the right knee has a slight bend. That's perfect. And if you look at it, hopefully the knee and toes are pointing directly forward. That's what we want. Place your hands on your hips and push down, like you're pushing your pelvis downward as you feel like you're standing up even taller, lengthening through the spine. And then turn so your torso is facing out over that right knee and toes. Once you're there, we'll inhale, take the arms up into the sky. Hold on the exhale. So this is our modified warrior one. Fully balanced on 2 feet. We are in a lunge, but it just doesn't have to, but there's not a lot of space between the feet. Hold for a moment. A couple more breaths. Just take a focus forward. And then from here, we're going to hinge at the hips, kind of lean forward and start to feel the weight of the body shift into the front foot. So we can easily step the left foot forward next to the other. Grow tall, reach for the sky, both hands, then exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Feel free to shake all that out if you'd like as we prepare for the other side. So that's our modified version of going into warrior one. Let's do that again, other side. Let's start with that soft bend in the knees. Put weight into the left foot. Notice that sensation, because that is going to help us with some of our balance work. Okay, and then start tapping the right foot back until it naturally stops and you're still balanced on your big toe. And then press the heel into the ground, that natural turn of the foot and leg. Make sure left knee has a slight bend, knee and toes are pointing forward. Hands on hips, push pelvis down, grow tall through the spine, and then turn so you're mostly facing forward. Then when you're ready, and inhale, sweep the arms up into the air, and we'll exhale to hold the pose. Just keep taking 3 or 4 more breaths in this lunging position. And also notice, because there's a lunge, we want that balance between the feet, even distribution of weight. Here we go. Let's start to hinge forward a little bit at the hips. Start shifting the weight into the left foot, and then step the right foot forward when you feel ready. Stand up as tall as can be, extended mountain pose, reach for the sky, and exhale, arms back down by your side. Very nice. Shake that out if you'd like. So let me just show you something. So here was our modified warrior one. Not a lot of distance between the feet, but it's even. We want to find a center of gravity, and it happens to be right here. It should be right between the feet. As they go wider, and we will do that next, we want to keep that same center of gravity. Okay, right between the feet, so there's an even distribution of weight. Okay, all right, return to mountain pose, and I'll guide you through the sequence, going to our warrior one again. Okay, we're going to inhale, reach into the sky, a little bit different though. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, and sit back into an imaginary chair. So we're folding. Take your time, let the hands drop, look down, let the back round. Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs to re-extend the spine, flat back like a table. Now on this exhale, bend your knees a whole lot. Let your back round, take your time. Enough where you can bring your hands down to the ground and then step both of your feet back, all the way back to the back end of your mat until we're in a plank pose or a high push-up position like this. Let's breathe in, lengthening through the whole body. As you exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips up into the air, guiding yourself into downward facing dog. Make some adjustments if you need to with your feet and or your hands. Remember, keep that slight bend in the knees. That keeps your hips mobile. I like to say wag your tail. You should easily be able to wag your tail and send your hips up a little higher, hands pressing into the ground. Now, here you're going to inhale, lift your right foot and extend the right leg back, reaching back through your toes. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Bring the knee in toward your chest or chin, shifting your upper body forward. This will move your shoulders to be aligned over your wrists. And then set the right foot down. It'll probably be at the center of your mat. And then set your left knee onto the ground like this. This is going to allow you to literally reach back and pick up your right foot and place it up higher on your mat next to the right hand. Relift the left knee. Now, this is not centered. There's a lot of weight forward. We need to find that center of gravity. First, turn the left heel to the ground behind you. Press into the ground. Feel your hips pull back a little bit. And notice this should start to redistribute that energy. Okay, so we find the center of gravity. It should be right at your waistline, right there. And also, you should be able to rise up easily to fingertips where there's no weight on your hands. I call this sweep the floor because there's no weight on the hands here. Then bring your hands up to your thigh. Press into the thigh to lift, to extend spine only to about 45 degrees. There's still a lot of energy forward, but we want a lot of energy behind us to find that balance. Here's center of gravity. Hip bone, if I drew a line straight down right between the feet. Let's take the arms out to the side. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, lunge, hold. So this is the other version of Warrior One, just a little bit more distance between the feet, same center of gravity. It's really right along the arms, down through the torso, through the hip bone. Okay, we're gonna breathe in. Exhale, open here to a Warrior Two. Just turn your torso towards the left side of the room. Arms extend parallel out over your legs, reaching through your fingertips. Right knee is still lunging, left leg is straight. Let's take this to side angle. We're reaching forward. We're still maintaining center of gravity, but we're reaching forward, okay? We don't want to put any extra pressure in this front knee. And then rotate your arms, right hand down, left hand up. For the modification, I like to stay up high in this pose, and you're welcome to. High meaning my hand and arm are right here against my inner thigh. You could go lower if you wanted to. Hands, fingertips touching the ground, or some stacked blocks. We're going to hold here a little longer. We're going to bring the left hand that's in the air down behind you to your low back. Okay, and just here, my palm, my open palm is facing the back of the room. So my hand's on low back, and with this shoulder, left shoulder, just roll it back 3 times. 1, 2, just 3 circles. 3. On the third one, just hold it back and just feel kind of this opening up through the chest. All right, a couple breaths here. Now with your neck, you can just keep it neutral. For the moment, mine is neutral. You could, if it feels okay, turn to look up at the ceiling or in that general direction. Look neutral again, and then down at the floor. Keep looking at the floor, because we're going to inhale and re-extend this left hand up into the air. Exhale, turn your torso towards the floor. Slowly bend, bring your hands to the ground. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. It's a little spin on those toes so the heel is lifted. Press palms into the ground, strong hands, strong arms. It's a transfer of weight and energy, so you can slide right foot back, plank pose. Hold. This is a nice strength move right here. Bend your knees, send your hips into the air. It's our return to down dog. So you can see how we really broke down that sequence. Let's do the other side. Go at your own pace. Rest if you need to first, though. Inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, bend left knee, bring knee in towards chest, shifting body forward so your shoulders are aligned over your wrists. Set the left foot down. It's just on your toes, really. Set the right knee down. This allows you to go back with the left hand, pick up your left foot, and place it up higher on your mat. Relift right knee. Okay, weight is forward. We need to find that balance. First, pivot right heel to the floor. That will send some of the energy back. Start to rise up to fingertips so there's less weight or no weight on the hands. That should be good enough. We're finding that center of gravity right there at the hip bone. Bring both hands up to your thigh so you can help extend spine. This is really going to help you find that centering and good energy, even distribution of weight across both feet. Sweep your arms out to the side and up into the air as you inhale and exhale, lunge. Just bend that left knee. Hold for a moment. Now with the wider stance, you might even feel this in your right hip flexor or just that right hip region right below the belt line. Nice opening for this pose. We're going to breathe in. Exhale, turn your torso towards the right side of the room, bringing your arms down to parallel, reaching out over the legs. Left knee is bent, pointing forward. Right leg is straight. Follow the left arm forward, angled upper body. Still no pressure in that front knee. We're keeping that center of gravity right at the tailbone. Reach up high, reach down low. All right, now we're going to bring the right hand down behind you. Okay, just to your low back is fine. And those same 3 circles with the right shoulder now. Roll it back once, twice, and on the 3rd time, we're going to hold it back to feel a little bit more opening up through the chest. You might even take a nice deep breath in right there. Exhale, we're still drawing belly in. That helps with our balance. Now your head might be neutral. If it feels okay in the neck, turn to look up at the ceiling or towards that area. Back to neutral, and then down at the floor. Just a little neck roll right there. Still looking down, we're going to inhale and extend your right hand up into the air. Exhale, turn your torso towards the floor. Carefully bend, bring your hands down to the ground. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. I call this a runner's lunge. Good pressure in the hands. Changing that weight so you can slide the left foot back into plank pose. Hold here a little bit longer, not too much longer though. And then we're going to bring knees to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. This is hero. We're just sitting back towards the heels, getting pressure off the hands. Okay, then slide off to either side so we can swing the legs around to the front. Okay, just straight legs out front. Flex the feet for a moment to straighten the legs and also brings energy to the legs. Hands on the floor by your hips. Push down into the floor with the hands to help you sit up nice and tall. Once again, roll shoulders back, and if you can, squeeze shoulder blades together. Keep your gaze forward. Just a couple of breaths here. One more. All right, you can even soften this up a little bit. Okay, we're going to go to Janu Shirshasana, and that just means head to knee pose. Okay, it's a variation of the posture, however. First, we're going to bend the left knee, bring the left foot, and place it somewhere on the inside of the right leg. If you can bring it to inner thigh, go there. If it needs to be at your knee or even down at your calf, that's fine. Okay, if this knee does not touch the ground, bring in a pillow or a block so it rests right there. I'm going to bring my foot as that inner thigh. I'm going to use that block. I'm just going to use my hands just to help really just kind of situate my hips so I'm sitting balanced here. Then as you're able, extend your arms straight up. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward a tiny bit, not much, just a little, and then bring your hands down just out in front of you onto either side of this front leg, just onto the ground. We're just going to use that as some stabilization. We're inhaling, extending spine at this angle. Exhale, pull belly in. You can stay just like this, or maybe take one step forward with the hands, hinge forward a tiny bit. This is about as far as I'm going to go because I feel this. I feel that stretch in the hamstring, and there's kind of an automatic hip opener on the left side. And that's all we're going for. We're doing this because this is kind of the setup for tree pose, which is the standing version of this, basically. So we're just kind of getting the body ready. Let's just take 2 more breaths. So Janu Shirshasana. Shirsha is your head. Janu is your knee. So Janu Shirshasana is the name of this pose. All right, if you're able, extend your arms forward. Inhale, rise up, reach into the sky. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side. That completes that side. We'll re-extend the left leg. We'll bend the right knee, bring it in. Use that prop on that right knee if you need it. Resituate your hips. I usually have to do that. Straight left leg, maybe a flexed foot. The right foot's on inner thigh, near the knee or lower, just depending on how this feels on your knee. Hands on the floor by your hips to sit up tall. Stay as tall as can be. Inhale, extend both arms up. Exhale, hinge forward a tiny bit. Hold, bring arms down or hands down just on either side of this front leg. Inhale, extending spine at this angle. Exhale, pull belly in. Hold right here or take one tiny step forward, hinging forward. Again, I'm going to stop right here so there isn't too much strain or pressure on the body, knowing that I could probably hold this for a significant amount of time and it won't strain my body. We really want to use the breath to support where you are. If you feel like you've gone too far, even though it's not too far, but if it feels like, oh, it's a little bit too much, just soften it up a little bit. Just back out of the posture a little bit. Or if you don't feel like it's not enough, maybe just go a tiny bit forward. All right, we're going to inhale, extend the arms forward and up into the air as you hinge your way back up. Exhale, bring your hands down by your side. Okay, let's go ahead and re-extend the right leg. Back to our staff pose right here for a second. Let's move our props. Relax a little. Let's swing both legs back behind us. Just a quick return to hands and knees. Let's do cat and cow. Inhale, lift head and heart. A little arch of the back. That's a little back bend. Exhale, round it out. We're just getting that mobility back in the hips and the spine after those seated positions. Maybe two more. We're going to get things ready for our standing balancing postures. Okay, come to a neutral tabletop position, hold in stillness. Once again, we're going to step the hands forward, spread out your fingers, strong pressed hands into the ground, strong straight arms. Tuck your toes. Do one more cat, cow. Inhale, look forward for cow. Exhale, look down for cat, rounding the spine. Hold it, lifting your knees, lifting hips. Downward facing dog, slight bend of knees, hips nice and high. You can do that quick check of wagging your tail. And then start stepping forward, maybe to the center of your mat until your feet are flat on your mat. And you can just slide your hands toward yourself, then up the legs until you come to that halfway lift right here. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sit down into your imaginary chair, look forward. With a nice full inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up into the air. Reach. Exhale, arms down by your side. Excellent. Okay, shake that out, get us a little sip of water, and we'll get things ready for our two balancing poses. Our featured poses today are tree pose and eagle pose, and we're going to modify both of them. Here you might want to use some blocks, okay? This is going to help with some balance. And you can have one block on either side of you, okay? I'm going to actually take two blocks and actually place it, let's see, over on my left side. Is that what I want? No, how about on my, let me have to think about this for a second. On my right side, okay? I'm gonna put blocks on the right side, right there. Okay, so stack blocks or just one block, but maybe stack blocks, you can see what's gonna happen. So we're standing nice and tall, mountain pose. We're gonna start shifting weight into left foot. Actually, go back to center, soften the knees a little bit. Now shift weight into that left foot, like we did earlier when we were prepping for warrior. Okay, we're going to start really just lift the right foot up off the floor, turn the knee out to the side, and look, I've got that stack of blocks right there for my toes. Okay, and so the knee is pointing out to the right side, hips are open. I'm going to place hands on hips, push down, and then get tall through the torso. That's it. Exhale, draw belly in. Okay, so we've got this nice balancing sensation, okay, with the hip opener. Then to finish, we'll inhale, take the arms up into the air, exhale, hold. So this is the variation of the balance. We're going to do it 2 times on both sides. First, with the pedestal, okay, that's where our foot is, and then one without the pedestal. Okay, this just helps you with the balance, also helps with alignment in the body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, just bring your arms back down by your side. Okay, we're going to lift the foot off the pedestal so we can turn the knee forward, place the foot down next to the other, return to balance. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing, same side. Welcome to use the pedestal again or free without the pedestal. Soften the knees, put weight into the left foot, ground, okay, root. Okay, we're going to inhale, get long in the spine, exhale, pull belly in. Then float the right foot up. Swing the knee out to the side. Just like in that seated position, we're going to bring foot to the inside of the leg. I like to bring foot to calf, maybe to knee, but preferably to inner thigh or calf. Okay? Hands on hips, push down to stand tall. Then inhale, yes, you can go ahead and reach your arms up into the air if you haven't already. Exhale, hold. Now this is a little different because we really are balancing on the left foot. If you need that pedestal again, go ahead and place the right foot on your stacked blocks or books. Keep your gaze forward, a nice reaching sensation towards the sky, and the breath, exhaling to pull belly in. Let's keep the arms extended, swing right knee forward. We'll lift the knee again, plant the foot into the ground next to the other, arms down by your side. Very nice. Good. Walk that out, stretch your toes, bend your knees, circle your hips, even your shoulders. All right, so 2 tree poses, 2 variations, okay, on either side. So I'm just going to move my blocks to the other side. You can do the same. Now you can do both times without the blocks if you want to. Or if you don't have blocks, maybe you're just standing near a wall, okay, and just use your wall as your stabilization. Okay, so the blocks on the left side. Let's start with a little bend in the knees. Put weight into the right foot. Root. Inhale to get tall through spine. Exhale, engage. Lifting left foot. Swing knee out to the side and just placing the foot on the stacked blocks. Make sure that knee is kind of pointing straight out to the left side. That's the hip opener we want in this pose. Place hands on hips. Push pelvis down. Stand up tall. That really opens the hips. Then inhale, reach into the sky. Hold on the exhale. Now, because we've got the pedestal, you probably can hold this for probably a good amount of time. If your arms get tired, you can even put a slight bend in your elbows, something like this. Helping with balance is our gaze, where we're looking, maybe somewhere out in front of you, or even down towards the floor. You're focusing on an object, perhaps. Breathing. Good. All righty. Let's go ahead and bring the arms down by your side. We'll pick the foot up off the pedestal, turn the knee forward, plant the foot into the ground, rebalance on 2 feet. Okay, we're finding our center of gravity. Okay, it's just right down the spine. Okay, same thing, maybe without the blocks this time. Shifting weight into right foot. Make sure there's a softness in the knees. Inhale to get tall, exhale, engage your belly. Float left foot up when you're ready. Swing knee out to the side, maybe placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Low, which is at your calf, medium, by your knee, or higher, inner thigh. Hands on hips, push pelvis down, tall body. Yes, then inhale, extend your arms up into the sky. Hold on the exhale. A little bit more challenging since we don't have the extra blocks to help us balance, but just do your best. It's okay if you wobble a little bit or even lose your balance and need to step out of the pose. It's all a part of the process. Breathing in and out. Focusing on something out in front of you or down low. I can really feel the foot I'm standing on. It's really working. I can feel myself kind of shaking a little bit. All right, let's keep arms extended. We're going to swing left knee forward, lifting knee. Okay, then set the foot down. Arms down by your side. Shake it all out. Excellent. All right. Now we have our eagle pose. We're just going to do it once on either side. And we're also going to vary this position. So let's place the blocks back on the right side. Okay, and standing pretty close to the blocks like this. Okay. All righty. Now the eagle pose is both a leg posture, in a balancing position, but it also involves our arms. Let's start with the arms. Okay, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms out and up. As you exhale, let's bring the arms down slowly. Pay attention to your left arm. You're going to bring your left arm down and behind the right. Okay, crossing at the elbows, making an X. Flip the palms up, lift the hands up. And we're just gonna keep the arms like this, okay, just like this. Normally we would wrap it all up, but actually just keep this like this. So you can easily have some mobility in the shoulders and you can kind of see me between your arms, okay? Now put some weight into your right foot. Okay, again, a softness in the knees, core engaged. You're gonna pick up the left foot. Okay, cross this foot over and look, I can place the toes or the foot on that block. So I've crossed the leg and then just take a little seat. Okay, so it's like you're sitting in a chair with the leg crossed. Okay, so this is our variation of eagle. One, we have a little bit more mobility in the shoulders because we haven't fully wrapped the arms. So even do this a little bit, up and down. And that's going to massage and open up the back portion of your shoulders and upper back. Core is engaged for balance. Legs are crossed. And because they're crossed, we're squeezing the legs a little bit tighter together, getting into the hips a little bit. Okay, we're coming out of the pose. Okay, I'm straightening the legs a little bit, uncrossing, feet on the ground. We're gonna reach out with the arms out and up, yes, into the sky. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, so that's our variation of eagle pose, okay? It gets into the legs. Okay, when the legs are crossed, let me just turn this way so you can see this. So kind of sitting, and the legs are really squeezing in towards each other, okay? Nice engagement. It kind of gets into the outer hips a little bit, okay? All right, so we want to get the blocks or whatever you're using, your books perhaps on the other side. Stand pretty close, ready to go. Okay, starts with the arms. We're going to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, bring the arm slowly. Pay attention to the right arm. You're going to bring that arm down and behind the left, crossing at the elbows. Flip the palms up and then lift the hands. Again, we're going to keep the arms like this. There's a little bit of a squeezing there so they don't go anywhere, but you still have this nice mobility like this. Put a little bend in the knees. Put weight into the left foot. Core engaged because you're ready for balance. We're picking up the right foot, crossing that leg entirely over the other. There's our block for stability. And then sit. Squeeze legs. Yes. Nice and tight. Good. And then just check in with that mobility with the elbows and shoulders, kind of up and down, just to massage. It's called the rear deltoids, just the back portions of the shoulders, and it moves right across the upper back just to open up. Because stay where you are, because think about all the other postures we did with our hands behind us, opening up through the chest this way, okay? And engaging the back. This kind of stretches the back. Okay, keep the arms as they are. Let's uncross the legs, plant the feet, unwrap the arms, reach out, reach up, big stretch, good. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Wonderful. Roll the shoulders, circle the wrists. Little movement in the head and neck if you need to. Check in with your feet, your knees, and your hips. Wonderful. So that is it. We're going to make our way back down to the ground for our closing sequence. Just so you can move your blocks out of the way. Get everything set up. Mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees slowly and carefully fold. Make your way down towards toes. Rounded spine. Inhale, rise up halfway to extend the spine. Exhale, folding, bend the knees low enough so you can place your palms on the ground. Step or walk both of your feet back. Plank pose, high push-up position. Hold for a little longer if you're able. Good strength building in this position. And then bring knees to the ground. Okay, we're going to sit back, get off the hands, sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. All right, sit in the center of your mat. We're going to lie down onto the back. All right, make sure your props that you want to use are handy. You can easily grab them while you're lying down, whether it's your blanket or your blocks, okay, because we might use them. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and lie down. Knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Just to feel a nice softening and releasing in the back and hips. We're going to go into a bridge pose, Bridge pose is going to take us to an inverted posture, okay? So we're going to press feet into the ground with a good exhale, lift hips off the ground, grab your blocks, slide them underneath you to sit on, okay? So this is our supported bridge pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Just situate yourself so you feel comfortable. You can adjust your feet, your shoulders, your seat on the blocks, so you can hold in stillness for several breaths. And from here, we'll take this eventually into an inverted pose, meaning we're going to take the legs up into the air. Three more breaths in our supported bridge. From here, we'll extend one leg and then two legs up into the air as you're able. If this is not where you are today, no worries. You can keep your feet on the ground and just stay in the bridge pose. If you are on some stacked blocks or books, you can join me here. So first, legs just go straight up. We'll put a slight bend in the knees. Feel as if like you're going to sit down into a chair. So your knees feel like they're coming a little bit down towards your forehead a little bit. Okay, run across the legs, very similar to the eagle pose legs. So let's cross left leg over the right leg. Okay, left over right. Okay, couple of options. You can just kind of cross like this. I don't know if you can see them. They're just crossed. But if you're able, especially, well, maybe you can't do this since we're on the blocks, at least I can't. You bring this left foot behind the right calf, but maybe because of our body positioning, you may not be able to do this. I know my body is not able to do this at the moment, but just crossing the legs is all we're really shooting for, and squeezing the inner thighs, okay, together. Couple of breaths here. And again, very similar cross-legged position as we did in the standing eagle pose. If you're able, keep the legs as they are, shoot both arms up into the air, and then give yourself a hug. Just wrap your arms around you. And then notice what arm is closest to your chin, okay? Because one arm is in front of the other. Okay, remember that sensation. Two more breaths. I'm just holding onto the shoulders, okay? I'm going to release my hug, reach up, bring the arms down, unwrap the legs. I'm going to bring the feet to the floor just so the body can kind of relax there for a second. And we'll do the same thing other side. So really just kind of this inverted eagle pose. Let's extend the legs back up into the air, straight up to begin with, and then bend the knees a little. And now this time we're crossing right over left. And again, if you're able, that right foot can wrap around the calf. But again, it may not work as well since we're sitting on the blocks. We need a little bit more mobility in the hips to do this, I believe. But squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, and that's perfect for what we're going for. Stay just like this, or if you want to join me in the hug, reach up into the air, okay? And then give yourself that hug, but make sure the other arm is now in front. Holding on to your shoulders so your arms stay in place. Breathing. Now the body's pretty engaged here. We're upside down, legs are crossed, arms are crossed. And then reach both arms back up into the air, then down to the ground. Uncross your legs, bring feet to the floor, return to bridge. Take a breath to let everything release. And then press feet into the ground, lifting your hips so you can take your blocks out from underneath you and come all the way down to the ground. Then just hug both knees to chest. I like to add a little movement here, just circling the knees to get into the low back and hips. And since the feet are free, I like to circle the ankles. Let's do a quick twist and then we'll go into our relaxation posture. So a twist, first taking both knees over to the left side as you extend right arm to the right side. So maybe 3 breaths or 5 breaths. Whatever you like. If there are 3 breaths, maybe just slow breaths. If they're a little quicker, maybe 5 breaths. Just feeling this little bit of a twist in the spine. This also affects the hips. Our work today did involve our hips. The tree pose, our eagle postures, and we had variations of each of those. When you're ready, bring knees back up to center. Pause there for a second. And then you can take your knees down to the other side. Knees to the right. Left arm extends out to the left. Hold, breathe. Take the time that you need in this final twist. When you're ready, you can come back up to neutral and move into full relaxation. This might be Shavasana, where you just extend your legs out in front of you onto the ground, arms also relax down by your side. Now, you're certainly welcome to bring in your props for added support. Maybe a blanket underneath you or even on top of you if your body's a little cool. You can cover yourself with a blanket. If you need some elevation in the legs or feet, use your blocks or rolled up blanket or that big cushion just to elevate your feet. If you happen to have a chair nearby, you can even just elevate your feet up on the seat of a chair. That's always nice. Wherever you are, you want to be able to feel very relaxed, disengage your muscles, breathe slowly and gently. You're welcome to hold your relaxing position as long as you need to. Even as I end the practice, you can stay right where you are just to continue your nice meditation and relaxation process. When you feel it's time to move, take your time. We'll start with breath, maybe 5 slow, deep breaths. As you're breathing slowly and deeply and just feeling energy return to your body, noticing the motion return to your body. After your 5th breath, we're moving very slowly, perhaps rolling onto either side of your body, briefly here in a nurturing pose. You can take a breath or two here. And then slowly rising, let's return to a seated position. Feel free to sit on a pillow or blanket. And as you're able, you're just sitting up nice and tall, that nice re-extension of spine. Shoulders are nicely relaxed. Arms can just rest down by your side with your hands in your lap or on your knees. Find stillness. We'll finish with a very simple movement and breath. Inhale, extend your arms up into the air. Good. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold here in stillness. Continue with your soft, slow breaths. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow saying, Namaste.